Hey everybody, welcome back. If you came back, I appreciate it. So I'm gonna try this again because I actually just did this and I forgot to hit record. So yeah, shame on me. But this is 40 and Unfiltered. I'm Christina. It's very nice to meet all of you. And I would definitely like your feedback in the comments or wherever I'm posting this. Please let me know what you think, what you want to hear. That would be great. And I can definitely try to share some of it and try to talk about what interests you and what bothers you or what I could do better. Now, so I watched my last video back and my last soundbite, and I noticed I do a lot of things that would probably annoy most people because it annoyed me. And I always sound like I'm out of breath. I don't know why that is. I guess maybe since I had COVID back before, I used to start wheezing, and I don't know. Maybe that's what it was from. I always sound like I'm out of breath. Not trying to do that. I'm really not out of breath. I am, but I'm not. I guess. I just kind of go really fast, I guess, and have to catch my breath sometimes because I'm an original New Englander. I talk fast sometimes. I can get very loud. um, and another thing I do is I notice I do a lot of like lip smacking. Like it drove me nuts the whole last episode. I was like, why am I doing this? But on this episode, we're gonna kind of talk about, I guess, what kind of parent we are. What kind of parent you might be. Can you relate? Things that we probably do differently as parents, and things like that. Now, my parenting style to my husband's parenting style is probably going to be a little different. He's more of like the enforcer, hard hand, like full force, like I'm so mad right now. This is what's going to happen. You're in so much trouble. I'm more of the, hey, let's talk about this. And I did it again. Let's talk about this and see where we can go. Let's work it out. A lot of times when the kids get upset and kind of out of control a little bit, I kind of like give them some time. I'm always like, hey, okay, take a minute, right? My husband's always like the kind of person that's like, well, you did this, you're in trouble, you're getting in the corner, or you're gonna get whooped. Which I can honestly say I've probably only ever seen us whip our kids a couple times, and that was when they were extremely little, because they're much older now. Obviously, I have a teenager, a preteen, and then I have a 8-year-old who has a disability. So obviously we don't love her. That there's no reason to. She's the sweetest thing, but that kind of parent. That's the kind of parent I am. Now I'm always like, hey, take a minute for yourself. Go do your thing. Take a breather, and we'll come back to this. Because I don't really believe. I mean, I do, I guess, to a certain extent, to like, hey, we're going to do this. This is how it's going to be. And if I have to, then we'll have to go to groundment. And it depends on the extreme. I mean, if you went and stole something from so-and-so, there's going to be an extensive punishment. Now, and I'm really trying not to smack my lips, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't know what it is. I guess it's a really bad habit that I have that I'm trying to get away from. And I notice that a lot when I do my podcast and it's terrible. But my kids, I can honestly say I'm pretty proud of them. They're all generally good kids. They've really never been in serious trouble, obviously. And obviously love them to death. Now my oldest, really trying to stop doing that. Now my oldest, he's really never been in serious trouble. When he was younger, we went through a phase of kind of a little bit of rebellion, obviously. And that was when he was a preteen. Thankfully, I'm not having that same issue with my other son, who is now becoming a preteen. He's very chill, very like, kid's got his own vibe. Like, he just does his own thing. And he kind of likes to be left alone most of the time. He'll go out and do his own thing. He likes to talk like his mom. So me and him, we always have good conversations. And now my youngest daughter, she's her own person. Attitude, girls have attitude, let me tell you. I'm just figuring this out. Like, she definitely has her attitude, and if she doesn't want to do something, she ain't gonna do it. Now she's physically disabled, for the most part, and So her eyes will tell you the whole story, let me tell you. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, wonder where she gets that from. But parenting in my house can be a little kind of back and forth with me and my husband's, because not husbands, I don't have more than one, I promise. My husband, he is more of the hard hand, and I'm more of, like I said, the sweet, like, you know, laid back kind of mom for the most part. Now, I never used to be that way. Now, don't get it twisted, because this mama right here was the one that used to scream at her kids when they were younger constantly. Like, I felt like I was constantly screaming at them, like all the time. Like, and you know, you learn as you're getting older in your parenting, in your raising your kids. Because I wasn't a perfect mom. I was just learning how to deal with two kids at the time, and then it became three. New mom, my son growing up. I didn't know what I was doing. I had him at 22, and I had just turned 23, and I thought honestly, I don't think no parent knows what they're doing when they first have a kid. I mean, you think you might have it together, you have your values. I kind of grew up in a crazy environment, so I didn't really know how to, I want to say this right without offending anybody. I didn't know how to teach my kids without yelling at them, and screaming at them. And it was just hard at first, obviously. I think every parent goes through that. But I learned through tools from other people. And I mean, my parents did teach me a lot as I got older of what I can and shouldn't do. Not can't do, but shouldn't do. And I learned that you get, okay, so what my parents used to say, you get more bees from honey than vinegar. So I learned to try to take the softer approach to things. And then when your kid becomes a preteen, and then they have a whole lot going on with them, including bullying. Now that's a whole nother story. Bullying played a lot in my son at the time, emotions, and how he would react to me, how he would react to everything. And I learned when he would get upset that I would be like, go in your room, take a minute, come back and talk to me when you're cool, you know, because it's hard. And I had to learn, obviously I had to learn to do it that way. And it worked for me. Now, it doesn't work for everybody. I mean, not every parent has the same parenting guidelines and parenting tools. It's what works for you, works for what works for your kids. Now, school-wise and the whole bullying thing, that was another conversation I was having recently with somebody. And they wanted to go to the school board, and they wanted to make this big statement about the school being on top of bullying. I'm gonna be straight with you. You can go to the damn president. It's not going to do anything. Kids are going to still bully others. Kids are still going to be there, and they're still going to be assholes, because that's what they are. Preteens and teenagers, they're assholes. Okay. So what I came to the conclusion is, you can teach your child to stand up for themselves. Okay. I'm not talking about throwing fists. Okay. I'm also trying to say, teach your kid to stand up for themselves, obviously. Don't take what anybody else says seriously. Honest to God, like, a lot of times they're saying it to piss you off. Okay. I've gained the knowledge to know people are going to say anything and everything to piss you off. Okay. And not only that, teach your kids to stand up for other kids. It's not hard. You see somebody getting bullied, step in, say something. See something, say something. Okay? Because, like I said, you can go to the school board. You can go to the damn president, like I said, and it's not going to do anything. Kids are still going to be assholes. That's just how it is. Okay? See something, say something. And that's the kind of parent I am. I mean, I know you can go above and beyond and talk to all these people and try to make a statement to people and all sorts of stuff, but it's not going to work, because really though, like, I feel like kids, like I said, are going to be jerks. They're going to be assholes. They don't care. They're going to say something to piss you off. Okay, adults will do that. Okay, you get into a situation with somebody, they're pissed at you enough, they're going to say something that's going to try to tear you down. Okay, and I've learned that in my life. So honestly, try not to let get. Try not let. Oh my God, I can't talk today. Try not to let it get to you, because that's their goal. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about was like out of control kids. I mean, there are some parents out there that are dealing with this right now. Okay, they're dealing with these kids that they just, I don't know, they've probably dealt with a lot and they've probably seen a lot, and then the parents are like, what do I do? Okay, what do I do? Now, I'm going to bring Janelle Evans into this, because I've been watching a lot of people on TikTok talk a lot of shit about her, and about her son, because her son got in trouble and she had to call 911 on him again. Okay. And then a lot of the comments were, oh, why did she call the cops on her own kid? Why didn't she just handle it herself? I've been in a situation where I had to deal with my child being a little nuts, and what do? Okay. It's out of your control. Okay. Maybe not the same exact situation, but what do? Okay. Do you commit your child? Do you send them to a hospital? Do you call the police? Like, what's the right answer? And they're on her about calling the cops on her kid. I'm sorry, but she was probably in a situation where it was affecting her other children, for one, and it was probably putting her other kids in danger, or in a situation where she felt that they were going to get hurt or needed to be, taken care of. So she felt that she needed to call somebody in to help her. And that's another thing. They need to have something in place for parents. So if this happens, we don't have to call 911. We call a hotline and they send out somebody to come help to see what they can do to resolve the situation. Because I bet you there isn't anything, or if they might be, to my knowledge, that I don't know of. I mean, I'm sure there is. But there needs to be something in place where a parent has kids, and maybe she needs to get into a program. Maybe Janelle needs to get into a program that helps her deal with this. Okay, she obviously is out of her control. She has no way to do anything when this happens. There should be, because other than that, what are you going to do? Send kids to a hospital? Send them to the police? Like, that is not, no kid should have to deal with that, should have to go there, regardless of how they're acting. Because I feel like that just makes the situation worse. And I think, like I said, there should be something in place where she could call a hotline and be like, hey, I'm needing assistance. Could you someone come out here and help me figure this out, get him to calm down, stuff like that, without having to send him off or call the cops or anything like that. Maybe there's something like that. I don't know. If not, there should be. But dealing with out of control kids, I can't say for the most extent. I've been in a situation where, like, I've been like, okay, what do I do? You know what I mean? Like, everybody's kid isn't perfect. Okay. Now I'm gonna probably get a lot of hate for that, but not for every kid being perfect. But like, there are situations where you're like, what do you do as a parent? It's out of your hands. It's out of your control. One, you don't want your kid to get hurt. You don't want other kids to get hurt. You don't want to get hurt yourself. And there's got to be better programs out there, I think, and things like that. So I don't know. I think that should be the way it is. But it's the way it goes. But as a mom to 3 kids, I've experienced my whole thing of kids being little, growing up, going through certain situations for myself, and trying to parent through those situations. And it's tough. Any parent, really. I mean, you could be going through a divorce. You could be going through home situations where, that's the way it is. And you're trying to parent through those situations, and it can be hard. It cannot be easy, for sure. thought I heard someone. But I mean, that's just how it is. Growing up, I think I did okay. I think all of us girls in my family did okay. We've had situations where we were unsure of certain things, and my parents did a decent job. They did a pretty good job with all of us. We've all turned out to be pretty good kids, girls, ladies, women's. I don't know how to talk today, so I apologize. But that's just the way it is. Parenting is one of those things that we learn as we go, and that's just the way it is, I guess. Parents always think I could do better. What did I do wrong that I could have changed? We can't. Things are always out of our control sometimes, and there are just things out of our control. That's all I gotta say. But I'm gonna go ahead and probably leave this here. And I appreciate y'all joining in. I'm gonna try to make these as long as possible, but not really, because I don't want to bore you guys, obviously, because that's the way it is. And I hope you guys continue to join me and come back for next week's episode. And I'm going to try to post more consistently certain days of the week, because I'm very bad at this and I have a lot going on. So when I can get to it, I try to at least post once a week, and you'll see this in my YouTube. I have a TikTok up with it, and I also have it on Spotify. So you guys go ahead and check it out, and I hope that the rest of these episodes will grab your attention. And like I said, leave me comments. Let me know what you think. Advice. I don't even care if it's negative or not. You do what you do. And I just want to see what y'all think. And I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day. God bless. And this is 40 and Unfiltered.